My name is Lukas Tzitzis. I'm a business executive for over 20 years in software and IT. I have literally worked everywhere in the planet at a global scale, and I have lived in 15 countries over 30 years. My primary background is telecommunications and IT, but I've also been active in utilities as well as medical technologies. In fact, when I was approached with this opportunity, I was in the process of making some professional changes. But when I started the discussions with Inara Valieva and the deputy ministers, I understood that for the first time in my life, I had the opportunity not only to make a difference in the business world, but also to significantly change the trajectory and affect the future landscape and the evolution of the Azerbaijani technology landscape and innovation ecosystem. The opportunity was tremendously exciting, and at the same time, when I came to Azerbaijan, I have to say I fell in love with the country. People are extremely kind, hospitable, great climate, very friendly, so it was pretty much an easy decision. The Azerbaijani ecosystem is in the process of being set up. There are some fantastic people that have joined the team, both local as well as international. One of my colleagues, Igor Ovcharenko, who is actually very experienced in establishing innovation ecosystems, but there is also already a very strong team here as well. I'm very encouraged by the fact that I see strong interest and participation not only by the state but also by the private sector, and at the same time what the local team has been able to do is attract expertise from outside that will accelerate in fact the establishment of that ecosystem. And I'm not only talking about me, I'm talking about people with Silicon Valley background or with background in the European ecosystem. Now when I combine that with the fact that we have already started discussing with some of the potential partners in Europe, and we started explaining to them our ideas, we even had some feedback that the things that we are doing just at the beginning, it took them 5 years to actually realize. So I'm actually quite sure of the success, but we're taking it one step at a time, but they are very big steps. I actually do not think that there are significant differences within the regional ecosystems. So if I compare Azerbaijan with the wider region, if we're talking geographically, I don't think there are a lot of differences. I think there are differences when we compare it to the more advanced ecosystem. So if we're talking about Israel or Estonia or other European countries. And I think the biggest difference in that respect is having the entire value chain of the ecosystem, right? So having the right platform for the creation of new startups, those new startups having an environment in which they can incubate, accelerate, exchange ideas, and create that critical mass that allow the rapid evolution of the ecosystem, but also further upstream if we're talking about venture capital funds, accelerators, incubators, studios. All of those things are in the process of being established. Now, also a crucial part to that will also be not having the startup ecosystem to be set up, but you actually need the entire spectrum of companies. So it's important to also have small companies, mid-sized companies, but also multinational companies, because then when you get this entire spectrum, you're able to, in fact, exchange information and exchange ideas, and products or services of startups coming into the portfolio of all these other companies. So it creates, if you like, a further widening of the addressable market that these startups can go to. It is interesting because I have worked in this region for a number of years. And when I was first told of the law, I was actually not aware of it. The law is providing very significant benefits. We're getting a lot of interest from outside. And even though I myself, I was on the other side, so I would be one of those target executives that would be interested in this. The interesting thing is that actually nobody knew about it. So One of the things that we will be doing is we will be very aggressive with our campaigns and promoting the benefits of this legislation. I'm also in a position to say that we have already had some successes locally, as well as severe interest from abroad. And watch this space, there will be some news coming up in June. Look, from a business standpoint, companies go into a new location for three reasons. Number one is you get a better access to resources at a better price. So that is improving your cost base, right? And when you compare the cost base of Azerbaijan, when we're looking at development cost or engineering cost, then in fact it is extremely attractive relative to other locations. That's reason number one. Reason number two is in fact the potential of the local market itself. But also importantly, if you look at Azerbaijan versus all the other countries that exist in the region, Azerbaijan is extremely stable economically. In fact, all the economic indicators, I believe, are outperforming compared to the rest of the region. So Azerbaijan is not only about the local market. Anybody that comes here can establish a base for the wider Eurasian operating theater, as we call it in the business world. Now, last but not least, when companies look to expand into a new location, we do not only look on the business side of things. We look at the location itself. And Azerbaijan has some great things to offer. It is multicultural, it is safe, it has great climate. There is a culture and mentality of hospitality, friendliness, kindness, helpfulness. So there are a lot of ticks in the box, in particular for companies that put a lot of focus and emphasis on quality of life. I think Azerbaijan has a lot to offer.